Am I currently the chairman? Yeah. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I assume everyone's had an opportunity to read the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
I'll second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opportunity for the public to address the board, agenda items only. Ms. Hart?
We have received no emails today.
Okay. Motion 214001. A motion to appoint a chair and a vice chair.
I'll make the motion to appoint Commissioner Debbie Dominic as chairperson and Jerry Notarianni as vice chair.
I'll second that.
I will second to make Jerry the vice chair too.
On the question,
I think we're
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Madam Chairman,
Okay.
you're on.
Motion 21-4002, motion to follow Robert's Rules of Order for conducting the Board of Elections meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Do I have
I'll
a
second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
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 21-4003, motion to relocate the polling location of Scranton 5-2. Brian, are you speaking on this or?
Madam Chairwoman, we're going to move the polling places from St. Peter's and Paul's Russian Orthodox Church at 1725 Academy Street in Scranton to the West Scranton High School located at 1201 Luzerne Street in Scranton.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, the reason why, Mr. Jeffers?
Beth can answer that, sir.
Okay.
Yes, when we mailed the leases out to all the polling locations in early March, they contacted us and said they no longer wanted us to use the church for a polling place. Nothing wrong, just they didn't want to use it anymore. So the obvious choice was West Scranton High School.
Okay.
Beth, why don't we do this after the Commissioner Dominic reads the motion? Why don't you read the relocations and then explain
Sure.
what happened to
Got
them?
it.
That's good, just so I could understand why they're being moved.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Thank you.
And the public is watching too. It's a good reason. It's a good idea to inform them why we're doing this. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve 21-4003?
So moved.
Do I
Second.
have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion 21-4004, motion to relocate the polling location of Carbondale Township, northeast?
Northeast, right.
Yeah.
This location is about a mile from the original one. The fire company actually has a new facility, so the old one was no longer available. We went out, we did do an assessment study on it and met all of the qualifications, so that will be moved permanently.
Can you just, for the public's purpose, state where it's
Oh,
from
I'm
and-
sorry. It's going to 1645 Route 6, Roosevelt Highway in Carbondale Township.
And that was the one located at 35 Old Gravity Road, correct?
Correct. It's about a mile from the original location.
Okay. Do I have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Do I have a
Second.
second? On
Second.
the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-4005, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Dunmore 1-1. Beth?
The original location was Our Lady of Peace Residence at 1501 University Avenue in Dunmore. It's on Marywood's campus. Due to COVID, we cannot use the facility, so we are moving that to the Dunmore Community Center at 1414 Monroe Avenue, Dunmore.
Now, Beth, it says 1510, you said 1501. Was it 15?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 1510. I apologize. Yeah, 1510 University Avenue.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion 21-4006, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Bell Township 4. Beth?
This original location was located in a primary residence, their garage at 504 Main Street in Richmondale. We are unable to use that due to COVID because it's attached to their home, and the poll workers would have to use the restroom, I believe, in their home. So that was the reason. So we're moving this to the Fell Township Municipal Building, which is located at 1 Veterans Road in Simpson, which we use for another polling location, no, another precinct also. So that was the obvious choice, and I believe we used it last time also.
Any questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve 21-4006?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-4007, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge 3.
This original location, Old Forge Borough Senior Center upstairs, was located at 310 South Main Street in Old Forge. That building is still under construction as it was in the last election. So it's a temporary move to the Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1 at 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge.
Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
On the question? All in favor? Aye. Motion 21-4008, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge 6-1.
Same situation. This is the Old Forge Municipal Borough Building at 310 South Main Street in Old Forge. It's still under construction, so that's also going to be moved to the Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1, 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve 21-4008?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
21-4009, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Old Forge 6-2.
This again is the precinct located at the Old Forge Municipal Building, 310 South Main Street in Old Forge. Due to the construction, it's being moved to the Eagle McClure Hose Company, number 1, 375 Milwaukee Avenue in Old Forge.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve 21-4009?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion 21-4010, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 5-1.
The original location was the Jackson Heights Recreation Room at 1001 Jackson Street in Scranton. Due to COVID, we can't use that location. So it's going to be relocated temporarily to the West Side Senior Center at 1004 Jackson Street in Scranton.
Any questions? Okay, moving along. Do I have a motion to approve 4010?
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
21-4011, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 7-1.
This was located at the Boys and Girls Club in Scranton at 609 Ash Street in Scranton. Due to COVID, we cannot use that location. It's going to be moved to the Scranton Cultural Center at 420 North Washington Avenue in Scranton.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve 21-4011?
Moved.
Do I have a
Second.
second? On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 21-4012, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 16-1.
This original location was at Washington West Apartments at 537 North Washington Avenue in Scranton. Due to COVID, we cannot use that location. It's going to be moved to the Scranton Cultural Center, 420 North Washington Avenue in Scranton.
Okay, any questions?
I have a question with regards to even the previous one, this one, and the next one. How are you dealing with the parking in that location? Because you're moving 3 previous locations to the Scranton Cultural Center. How are you dealing with that?
I mean, they did have parking spots out in front. The last election, we used the Scranton Cultural Center also. A lot of the voters in those particular precincts are walkers too. I mean, from Washington West especially. Right. And also the volume of in-person voting isn't as high due to the mail-in ballots.
Okay.
So it seemed to work out.
Your Honor.
All right,
what we
and
do-
was even the next one, the Hebrew Day School, was that utilized at the Scranton Cultural Center as well last election?
We were able to use the Hebrew Day School last time, but because of a Jewish holiday falling on election day, we cannot use it this year for this
Okay,
particular election.
all right, all righty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, what we did during the general election was, and obviously that was, it was a crazy time where everybody was voting, is we went out, Mark Dewar and his people went out early in the morning and blocked off a lane where the people would park, where the meters are.
Yes,
And they would bring them in and bring them right out with the cars.
and how did that work out, Brian?
It worked out great.
All right, good, thank you. That's
Yeah, the
good.
city, the city of Scranton's police department was very helpful with us on that too.
All righty,
Okay, do I have a motion to approve 21-4012?
so moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye,
21-4013, motion to temporarily relocate the polling location of Scranton 17-2. Beth, you already talked about that. We're moving it from the Hebrew Day School due to a Jewish holiday falling on election day
Correct.
to the same location as the previous two, which is the Scranton Cultural Center at 420 North Washington Avenue in Scranton. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve 4013?
second,
Okay, on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-4014, motion to assign poll workers to work the May 18th, 2021 primary election outside of their voting district.
These would be the poll workers that are working somewhere within the county, and that is not the voting district they vote in. So we do have to approve that they can work. So say if you reside in Dunmore, but you're working in Scranton, to kind of fill in the gaps where we don't have judges and inspectors and clerks. It's about probably, I would say, less than 20% of the workers, but we do have to approve that.
Any questions?
yes. How do you keep track of the location, like where they're from, where they're going to, and for what period of time? Like, how do you keep track of all that information?
Well,
Beth?
we do have elected judges and inspectors that are currently on the ballot this election cycle for a 4-year term. But if not, and we don't have anybody elected, we have people that always are interested in working the polls, and they can reach out to us. They have to be looked up and verified that they're a registered voter and what district that they're registered to vote in. So obviously we try to get them to work in the district that they're registered to vote in. But if there's not an opening there and we need to fill a void somewhere else, we ask them if they're willing to work outside of their specific polling place, and usually they are. So that's what we do.
And then do you maintain a record of who they
We
are
do.
and where they're going to?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think the judge's question, Beth, was that we have a list of volunteers who are
We
prepared
have a,
to.
yeah, we do. We have a list of, we keep,
was part
it's
of
in a database system that we have all the workers in.
That was part of the question,
Yes.
Mr. Frederickson. Thank you.
Okay,
And
Any
Your Honor,
other
some people may ask, why don't we have judges? Well, some judges were elected and either have, resigned their position or unfortunately have passed away over the 4 years. So there's some spots that are opened up for that, and some spots are opened up because of the fear of COVID and they don't want to do it.
That's understandable.
Yes, it is.
okay. If there's nothing else, do I have a motion to approve 21-4014?
So moved.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-4016, motion to increase the poll worker rates for the May 18th, 2021 primary election. The judges of election from $170 to $270, majority and minority inspectors from $125 to $225, clerks from $125 to $225, and constables from $125 to $225. Does anybody want to speak on that?
This is something that we did last year in the primary. Obviously, the primary of last year was moved. During the dark days of the pandemic, to encourage individuals to come out and work the polls for us, even though we were really pushing and still are pushing the mail-in ballots. We believe that they should receive a hazard pay of $100. And that's what this was. We did this for the general election also of last year. And this year, we cannot give them the money, but we're putting this into the budget for this upcoming year. It's obviously an election year for the judges and the inspectors, so we can't put it right in there. It has to be voted upon by the Board of Elections.
And it's a long day for those people. You've got to give them a lot of credit for it's 7 in the morning until 8, 9 o'clock at night by the time they're done, or even later. So it's not like they're being overpaid at all.
Oh, Commissioner Terry, I totally agree with that. And this is almost like hazard pay, so to speak, with the still our COVID numbers here in our county are still on the high side. So I'm in favor of this.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve 21-4016
So moved.
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 21-4015, authorizing the use of ballot return receptacles. Beth, are you going to speak on this?
Sure,
Or-
I can. Brian, do you want to speak on this or do you want me
These are the
to?
mail-in ballot boxes that we're going to be putting out at the 6 locations as we have during the 2 previous elections in 2020. They will be located in the city of Carbondale's City Hall, the township of Roaring Brook, Dixon City Borough Building, and the Clark Summit Borough
Yeah.
Clark Summit Borough Building, and here in the Government Center. So there's 6 of them that are out there, in 5 locations throughout the county and here in the Government Center.
All these locations.
Music Borough,
Music.
Music Borough, Dixon City, Clark Summit Borough, Roaring Brook Township, and the city of Carbondale, and then here in the Government Center, which will be open at night so that people can bring their ballots until about, I think it's 7 or 7:30. The sheriffs will close the doors at night here.
The buildings are all secured, and there's cameras on all the buildings, and there's
Correct.
people there, so there's no reason for anyone to be
Right.
concerned about.
Pretty much
dropping them.
every single ballot box is basically located as best as we could within like 4 or 5 or 10 feet of them, is right outside the police departments, either chief of police or the police department itself.
Brian, how do you get this information out to the general public as to those locations?
Well, then we will talk to the media about it. That will definitely be part of the media, but we also do an advertising campaign that we have done in the past and we will do in the future to let the.
Is it possible with regards to when somebody's asking for a mail-in ballot, there might be a little piece of paper inside of that envelope indicating where those drop-off boxes are?
I think we did that last time, didn't we, Beth? Didn't we
Yeah,
put
well, I don't know,
something in
if we didn't put the locations in, but it does say on the return envelope, when you're returning your mail-in or absentee ballot, to mail it in or to bring it to one of the secure drop boxes. So what most of the voters do, they would contact our office to find out where the drop boxes are. It will also be listed on our website, all the locations and their addresses. And I know they did run it in the paper where all the drop boxes were.
Are we allowed to put them in the envelopes?
I don't see why we couldn't.
Yeah, there's no reason we could. Yeah, we could do that. There's not a
Yeah, you'd
problem.
be fine with that.
Okay.
That would eliminate the phone calls to your office.
That is true.
You think?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor. We will take that up and do that.
All right.
that was a good idea. Do I have a motion to approve 21-4015
Motion.
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opportunity for the board to address, or I'm sorry, for the public to address the board. Tracy,
No, we have no emails today.
members, other business? Anyone?
No.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you for
So,
joining us, Your Honor.
All
yeah,
righty.
thank you. And if I'll just take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Do I have a-
Second.
on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
You too.
Yeah, everyone, have a great week.